Hello, sweet, beautiful friend. Today I want to share something a little more personal. My journey towards appreciating and noticing the little things in life. This is actually the first of a two-part series where I will dive into those tiny magical moments that make our life special. In this one, I will talk about how I started noticing these little treasures, and in the next video, I will share some of the specific things that brings me the most joy and makes my heart the fullest. So be sure to stick around for both parts, you tiny wanderer, and thank you for being here today. I want to start by saying that the inspiration for this video came when I began reading books that I wanted to read, not the ones I thought I needed to read. And in one particularly cute book, there was a cozy story about friendship and a line that instantly made me want to create this video. It said, "It's the little things I expect, little treasures we find without knowing their origin, and they come when we least expect them. It's beautiful when you think about it." This got me thinking about my own journey throughout the life and made me think that it is actually quite ironic, because when I was younger, I struggled to notice and appreciate the little moments. I wanted to learn how to do it so much. And I remember a conversation I had with my best friend during my teenage years with almost tears in my eyes of me feeling desperate. And when we were sitting and talking about life, and I desperately said something like, "I can't enjoy the little moments. I don't know how to be in the moment. I wait for them to happen, but when they do, I can't enjoy them. Then they pass, and I feel so sad, so angry at myself, at the world, for not appreciating them. I want to change, but I didn't know how to." And in that moment, I remember that desperate, dark feeling of me just wanting to change. And also, I remember feeling quite disconnected from the world around me. Like I couldn't stop for a moment to truly soak in and appreciate the beauty of everyday life. Part of me felt like I wasn't capable of doing it, but I wanted to learn so badly. Looking to this back now, I think it was mostly because back then I was trying so hard to live up to this unrealistic, perfect image of life, who I thought I was supposed to be, some kind of version of myself created from seeing too many polished, perfect lives on social media. And to be honest, for the longest time, I thought I wasn't comparing myself to anyone because I'm so cool and I don't care about others' lives. But now I look back and I truly understand that I really was comparing myself to almost everyone from the internet. I was trying to be someone else, never truly listening to who I was or what my creative, cute little soul really wanted. Like in comparison to now, I am so proud that the little kitty cat purse, for example, which is technically for just little girls, is at the top of my wish list. And even though my mind tries to say sometimes, but oh my god, but you're 27, not 5. How are you going to wear it? Why do you need this purse? What will people think when they see you walking with this tiny little girl purse on you, being a grown-up woman? And you know what? I remember that just the thought of wearing it and knowing that it's so tiny and it's so cute for me, and that I can only fit, a coin, a lipstick, or maybe, I don't know, a little flower that I found on my walk with that purse inside it, brings me so much joy and the biggest smile, and just makes me so tingly inside. So, why not? Why I can't get that kitty cat purse, wearing it proudly, with my head held high. And even though it's not super common to see a grown-up woman with this little kitty cat purse, just walking on the street, but if that brings me joy, why I should keep myself from it? And over here, I would like to mention that, in my opinion, the biggest change happened when I started to live more authentically to myself. I stopped pretending to be someone I wasn't. I let go of the need to be perfect or fit into the image that I created for myself in my own head, seeing all the beautiful comparisons on the internet. And then the more I let go, the more I started to notice the little moments that had always been there, but I had never really seen them, or I wouldn't just stop and appreciate them. I think one of the turning points for me personally was during the COVID-19 quarantine. I remember how my husband and I would go on little walks just to get out of the house to breathe some fresh air, and we would wander through nature, through the forests around us. And I remember that it was early spring back then, and the world felt like it was slowly waking up. After a long and cold winter back in Lithuania, it was super snowy that winter. And I remember noticing tiny buds on the trees, the first hints of green pushing throughout the snowy soil. And these were the things I had probably walked past 1,000 times before, but never really had time to see those until then, perhaps. Or something was always on my mind and I wouldn't stop for a moment just to appreciate them, because I thought it's quite boring, or I don't know, just there, and I need to achieve something that it's not there. So those quiet and cozy walks showed me how much beauty there is in the simplest life moments if you just slow down for a little bit and slow down enough to see it. What's funny to me now is that people often say, "Oh, wow, you are really good at appreciating the little things." Or, "I am amazed how much little things you are noticing in your life and how much joy they bring to you." And me hearing these kind of words always makes me smile, because in my head, I wasn't that person. I didn't think that I could be, even though I really want to. But it seems that somewhere along the way on my personal journey, I became that person I never thought I could be. I guess that's the beauty of living authentically to who you are and just accepting yourself the way you are, and accepting those things that you find the most joy, even though they sometimes are quite quirky, weird, or crazy. When you just stop trying so hard to be someone else, you naturally start to notice the magic around you. And over here, I would also have to give a credit to one amazing person in my life who came very accidentally, but who really inspired me to live even more loving life. That person is my friend, Christina. Our story is quite unique, I could say. We met when I was searching for a person who could create my wedding dress. And she was the first person who popped into my mind, because I saw her works that actually wasn't a wedding dresses back then in one of the Facebook groups. And I just saved her page because I liked her creations. And when I needed to think about the wedding dress, the first person who popped into my mind was Christina. I wrote to her and we started to brainstorm all the ideas, how we can create this and that. And then we both stopped for a second, because we realized that we live in different countries. Even though we both are Lithuanians, she lives in Norway, I lived in Lithuania, but we decided to take a leap of faith and just trust each other, trust the whole process, and try to create something even though we're not in the same country. And oh my goodness, it really, really paid off, because I visited her twice in Norway when we needed to get a fit checks for my wonderful, amazing, I don't know, all the beautiful words dress. And I remember meeting her first time was so overwhelming, but in super good way, just because we felt like soul sisters, I would say, and that we really get each other. And I don't know, we just felt like we needed to get to know each other. And somehow all the dress angels and gods just brought us together to one another. The reason why I'm mentioning her here is because I learned from her to appreciate and save every creature in the world. I remember when we were sitting in her kitchen having breakfast, and the fly started to fly around us and buzz a lot. And the first instinct was, of course, like find that fly and most likely to make it not buzz again. But I remember how she was trying to catch her in a glass jar container just to set her free. And back then I thought, she's so precious. I love her so much, but she's a little bit weird with trying to save every bug, every ant on the ground and not try to step on it. But you know what? After I came back home, after some time, I started to act almost the same. For example, now, whenever I see an ant crawling on the table at the restaurant where I work, I didn't squeeze her. I tried that to either leave her behind and just move on from my to-do tasks, or just to save her. I used to be super afraid of spiders, but now I live with them together, just in peace. I try to save them. If the bumblebee or bee or any kind of bug flies into our room, I try to save them, just to set them free. I know it's quite weird, but I think it's nice. Christina is one of the kindest souls I have ever met, and her actions struck me so deeply. It made me realize that I want to be like her too, just to live in a way that spreads love, saves Earth, and helps things grow rather than destroying. Christina's gentle and compassionate spirit showed me that the little acts of kindness we offer to the world, whether it's to a tiny creature or to the people around us, are the real treasures in life. In those small moments of care and connection that make the world feel a little bit more beautiful every time you do so. This journey of mine from feeling disconnected from the little things to noticing and treasuring them has been such a surprise. It's amazing how the world opens up when you stop trying to force things and instead allow yourself just to be. And over here, I would like to ask you, have you ever had a moment where you suddenly realize you were living in the moment, even though you didn't think you were capable of it? Or maybe there's something small in your life that you have recently learned to appreciate, or to do, or not to do. I would love to hear your stories as well. These are the thoughts that I have during this chapter of my life about appreciating and finding joy in little magical moments. And here is the exciting part, that it's just the beginning of our conversation about little joys that brings even more joy for all of us. This video is the first of a two-part series, and in the next video I'll be sharing some of the specific things I have noticed in my life that brings me the most joy. So stay tuned for the part 2 coming next week, where I'll take you along as I share those tiny treasures that make everyday life feel a bit more magical. Please share your own stories with me. I would love to hear those. I hope this encourages you to slow down, notice the little things around you, and appreciate the tiny treasures waiting for you when you are least expecting of them. Take care, my tiny wanderer friend. Yay, friends! I'm so happy you've made this far into this episode, and I would really appreciate if you rate the show on Spotify and hit subscribe on YouTube. Please make sure you follow me so you would never miss the new creation of mine. And if there is something you would like to continue talking about, or share your thoughts on this or any other topic, please write to me on my Instagram, austeja.b. And I hope you found something cozy and cute for your heart this time. And thank you so much for listening and being with me here today. Have a lovely day and see you next time. Bye, friends.